Blake Chenault live with the latest. Blake?
Yeah, police definitely showing no signs of fatigue. In fact, I believe their manhunt is intensifying. They are involved in an all-out citywide manhunt for Devon Crawford, and by all accounts, Mr. Crawford should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. According to police and a number of neighbors, he is responsible for a mass slaughter, a domestic violence case ending in the worst way possible. All of this taking place just before 8 o'clock tonight in the 1300 block of West 89th Street. 6 people shot, 5 are dead. A number of the deceased are kids, possibly even infants. Also among the deceased, children's mother. Mr. Crawford, according to another same story, walked into the house and tried to kill most of his family. Now, I had a chance to speak with a number of police officers confidentially and off camera, and they told me that if Devon Crawford is guilty as accused right now, he is manic, he is suicidal, and he is capable of almost anything. Again, should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. On Cleveland's west side, Blake Chenault, 19 Action News.
Because it could have been us.
The serial killings on Imperial Avenue have galvanized this community like never before. But then again, this community has never seen something so horrific.
Her head was in a bucket.
That's right, the truth almost too gruesome to believe. LaShonda Long, the 10th of 11 victims to be identified from this house. Only her skull remained downstairs in a bucket.
That was my sister. That was my best friend.
25-year-old LaShonda Long had been gone for more than a year, but yet was never reported missing.
We didn't report her missing because she was a person that did her own thing in life.
Adeline Atterbury, mother of the 6th murder victim to be identified, Michelle Mason, spoke at a nearby church about the importance of always reporting and actively searching for missing loved ones.
Broadway, we had a rally there too. We put posters everywhere.
Problem is, family members believe suspected serial killer Anthony Sowell took down their posters.
We put some more up, and they was taken down 2 or 3 times. We did that.
Mental health experts went door to door today, passing out some 3,000 of these flyers, letting folks know that help is available and where they can get it. Those same counselors were also at this church identifying specific needs family members might have in dealing with their grief, anger, shock, and overall depression.
Y'all want to do it? I'll do it.
Pulled out of this house have been identified. Those families, they have closure, but as you just saw in that story, closure oftentimes is very painful. On Cleveland's east side, Blake Chenault, 19 Action News. I'm Blake Chenault with breaking news on Cleveland's west side. Apparently about 5 o'clock this afternoon, a man and a woman were shot while talking at this gas station. The man and the woman, again, were speaking at this gas station when a third party arrived, produced a gun, shot the woman in the face, shot the man 3 times. The man staggered inside of the gas station, told the clerk what happened. The clerk then called an ambulance for help. The shooter remains at large tonight. We're getting all this information from an anonymous source who spoke with the gas station attendant, who tells us that the shooter possibly is a spurned lover of the woman. Again, the shooter remains at large tonight, and the 2 shooting victims, a woman shot in the face and a man shot 3 times in the body, are at the hospital. No word on their conditions. Back to you folks in the studio. Most of us have heard quite a few fish stories, but none probably like this one. While driving on vacation, Leanne here looked up through her windshield and saw an eagle, similar to this one, catch a fish right out of the water, only to see this fish wiggle out of the bird's talons.
Bam! It just came down and just completely shattered my windshield.
Can you believe it? Well, here's the picture, complete with fish scales and all, embedded right in Leanne's windshield to back up her tall tail.
So it was coming up, up over the car this way, and it just came down and it just went smack.
Leanne's 5-year-old daughter, Olivia, was in the back seat when the fish hit the car.
It's okay. It's just a big fish. We'll be okay.
In fact, Olivia may now think fish can fly.
It slammed like this.
So let's try to put this in perspective. The eagle with the fish in its talons was about 40 feet in the air, the approximate height of that telephone pole. The fish was about 1 foot long, falling 40 feet, hitting Leanne's car, which is traveling at about 40 miles an hour. Bam!
Smack.
Smack.
After the fish impact, Leanne felt so lucky she bought a lottery ticket, but her luck had since run out, leaving her with only this fishtail and the nickname Eagle Eye.
I've been known to have some weird random things.
And Leanne's insurance would not cover the cost of the windshield, which was about $250 to replace. In the Newsplex, Blake Chenault, 19 Action News. Police are using a considerable amount of resources to figure out where all that dynamite came from. Now, usually you need a certain kind of permit to store and buy those explosives, so I would imagine A starting point for their investigation would be a look at a certain number of records. Crews board up a property that really was a powder keg ready to explode. Are you worried about your safety?
Very much, when there's 50 sticks of dynamite at least.
Not much of the garage left now, but earlier today authorities found so many explosives here, they issued a no-fly zone over the neighborhood.
They would have actually destroyed this community.
About 4 blocks were cordoned off. Folks in their homes were evacuated, as well as a daycare center. People were truly panicked.
It's frightening.
It's widely believed that a quarter stick of dynamite placed on the human body will blow the human body into 2 separate pieces. 1 full stick of dynamite can blow up 1 ton of solid rock. Authorities stopped counting here after they found 50 sticks of dynamite. Neighbors praised the astute police on patrol who noticed something suspicious about the garage and started to investigate.
On my Sabbath, I'll be more thankful to God.
The bomb squad decided the best way to defuse the unstable dynamite was first to soak it and then, amazingly enough, burn it.
And it's on fire.
The folks next door say this property had been unoccupied for 3 years and in that time had always been a problem. Now, as the police investigation into where all that dynamite came from gets underway, there's a collective sigh of relief from a lot of folks in this community that nobody was hurt or even killed by all of that unstable dynamite. In Cleveland, Blake Chenault, 19 Action News.